Viewer discretion is advised.
This one is definitely listener discretion is advised because there's a lot of stuff in here. It's pretty heavy. So,
Well, let's hear it, my brother.
all right, you've been warned. This one might not be known to the true crime community. It's not really a big case for whatever reason. It deals a lot in the Midwest of the United States. So the majority of the podcasts that I know of haven't covered this case. And it could go along with a specific narrative. But let's get started. We're going to talk about Alton Coleman. Alton Coleman.
Alton Coleman.
Mm-hmm. He was born November 6, 1955 in Waukegan, Illinois.
What is with the Novembers?
Yep, another one.
Y'all should be scared of me.
Uh-oh, yeah, I know. Well, you like to cut off the wang, so absolutely every male is scared of you.
Absolutely.
You left the toilet seat up, off with the wang.
Chop. Chop, chop.
Seriously, you missed your calling, Gabby. You should have worked at a Benihana.
Yo.
Exactly. So again, this is going to be in the Midwest. Alton is an African American male.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah, but I was waiting for you to say that.
Oh, I knew he was.
I honestly haven't heard that name.
Alton?
No.
That's definitely Southern.
It is. He lived with his mother and grandmother. Not having a father figure is always detrimental to any troubled youth, no matter the race. It doesn't matter, or even the gender. We've seen women in single parent homes or no parent homes that just do not thrive and really have to find themselves. A lot of people make it out with no parents, but there's an awful lot that don't, and they effectively blame that on the way that they turned out, or they use it because of the no direction to get what they want, to do the bad things and justify what they do. So it was tough for Alton because it does affect males when they don't have a male figure in the home. And it's unfortunate that it's a story that so many men, not only in America, but in other countries that grow up without a father, they don't have a mother figure there either, because the mother's playing both roles. She has to work, she has to cook, she has to clean, provide all that, while usually the kids are at home to fend for themselves or do whatever they want. So
yeah, that's hard.
It's very hard. It's very tough.
Mm-hmm.
So, he learned what he could from the streets. And Alton was conflicted at a very early age, because not only was his mother doing the things that I was telling you about as far as working, providing, she was also a working girl. So she was on the street. And yeah. So she was sex working, and her mother, which was Alton's grandmother, is who he stayed with.
Usually the case.
Yeah. And it's weird because Alton's mother, she would be gone for periods of times, and she had a specific pimp who would take a portion of her money, obviously, as they do, and also have it to pay for the hotels or the motels that she would work in. She decided, you know what, this is not going to work. I need to have my own place. So she talked her mother into, not being her pimp, but allowing her to have a room dedicated for sex and her sex work, as her regular work was drying up, she began to do more sex work. So her mother let her take the Johns home with her instead of having a pimp and having to pay the extra fees for hotels and whatnot.
That's
What?
crazy.
Yes.
I used to
Okay.
think that the pimp would pay those fees if he's using her to make the money.
Oh, absolutely not.
No. The pimp needs a new car, needs rims, needs a.
Gotta have a hat,
Oh yeah, the pimp hand has to
suit.
be strong.
that pinky ring. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So it's
Dang, so it was house calls then.
yeah, literally. And you know, just like what we talked about in the last case with Alan Legier, his father was a John to his mother, and Alton was also a John's son. So she got pregnant from one of the men that had sex with her, obviously.
Oh,
But I mean, her client.
He was a John's son.
Yep. And it didn't help that she was pregnant, still doing sex work in the community, and her mother, who was allowing this practice to happen under her roof, was not only made fun of because of the family life that they were displaying in front of everybody, but she was a major practicer of witchcraft.
ugh.
Oh,
Yeah, she was casting spells on anyone that made fun of the family, talked crap. She would just randomly be cooking things, burning things. She was weird. The grandma was weird.
where you say they were from again?
This is in Illinois.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that she's burning. You would think this is Louisiana behavior.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but this is Illinois, and she's over there burning small animals, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Chicken feet.
Yeah. So let's dive into the mom's background real quick. She got pregnant with her first child at 14 in 1948.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this woman was doing some stuff that, again, women weren't doing it at that time period, or at least you were looked down upon.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. Now get this. Her first arrest was because she intentionally gave a man syphilis.
What?
Yeah. She knew she had a sexual disease, and she gave it to him on purpose. I guess it was found out that she had bad intentions to sleep with this man that she normally wouldn't, because she didn't like him for whatever reason.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she was
What
given.
a way to get at somebody you don't like.
Yeah.
You don't like me? Get this AIDS.
Yeah, exactly. That's disgusting. But she was 16 at the time, and she slept with an adult.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she would go to jail for that intentional syphilis. I mean, I don't know how you prove that, but they did prove it.
Right?
Isn't that how twisted things were? Like, she was a minor, but she goes to jail for giving this grown man syphilis. But this man is not frowned upon for sleeping with a child.
Exactly. Welcome to the 50s.
Damn.
He's like, hey, judge, this burns. Yeah, but she's 16. But it burns. What if your junk was on fire? Guilty.
Yeah.
That
Well, in
is
some countries,
stupid.
and what I learned, in some countries, believe it or not, the age of consent is younger than 18.
True.
Yeah. So I'm not saying it was back then, but it was the 50s.
Yeah, I mean, it was common for girls to get married young and like all of that. But I'm saying this pig man is having sex with a 16-year-old, but she goes to jail for giving him syphilis.
Yep. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy how things were back then. And again, you had a baby out of wedlock. I mean, that was worse than almost killing somebody at the time. But here she's given syphilis, so she's lucky she only got 2 years.
Dang, 2 years.
2 years.
2 years. So she leaves Illinois for Oklahoma because she's shamed in Illinois. The entire town of Waukegan, which is not big at the time, can't stand her, and she's a marked girl. So she goes to Oklahoma, immediately shacks up with an older man, and they have a shotgun wedding. Why? Because she gets immediately pregnant, syphilis and all.
Mm.
Um,
God.
and then immediately after she had her kid, got pregnant again. And
Wow.
yeah, for a minute it was good. She stayed at home. The guy took care of her. She raised the little kids for a couple years, and then all of a sudden she went back to sex work, and she abandoned the three of them altogether. So she left her husband and two small kids.
That's wrong.
Yep. And now the grandmother had moved out of that house prior, and she was living in a house that was real close to these railroad tracks, close to these homeless encampments that were right there, junkyards. It was not the best area. It was an industrial area at best. So we're talking now it's 1955, and she comes back to the area. She's with with her mother for a little bit, and lo and behold, as she's doing that sex work we talked about earlier, she gets pregnant, and Alton is on his way. And Alton was born, like I said, November 6, 1955. Can you guess what his mother did with Alton when he was born?
What she did with him when he was born?
Mm-hmm. Like, basically minutes out of her vajayjay.
Minutes out of her vagina. What did she do to him? Circumcise him? I don't know. Dang. Yeah, I'm gonna just say circumcise him.
Okay, Gabs.
I don't know why my mind is leading to her doing something disgusting to her baby. I'm gonna say she did something sexual to the baby.
No, surprisingly not. She literally had barely got enough strength to stand up. And remember, she has this kid in her mom's house, because this is like, this is kid what, number 3?
Mm-hmm.
And so basically Alton slid out. But she puts him promptly in the trash.
Oh, wow.
You know what? I should have gone with my first. That's what I was gonna say. She threw him away.
Yeah, she literally put him, like, you know how you have the trash can as you walk into the kitchen? It's like she was walking towards the kitchen, just dumped him in there and went into the refrigerator and was like, what do we have to drink? There's some milk, there's some purple stuff. Oh, Sunny Delight. Like, she didn't even think twice.
She's horrible.
And the grandma came out, witchcraft and all, and was like, no, you don't do this. What are you, she started yelling at her. She picks the baby up, starting to wipe him off, cleaning him up. And right then and there, she knew she was going to raise Alton. It wasn't going to be her daughter. So.
How can you?
Wow.
How do you, as a mother, I mean, witchcraft and all, whatever, I don't know how she is, but you allow your daughter to be who she is, but then she's pregnant, gives birth to this baby, throws him in the dumpster. How do you allow that person to sit and say, well, this is my daughter and she's human, and she could still stay here and do whatever the hell she wants?
Yeah, you would think she would call the authorities, kick her out at least, right?
Yeah, like at that point, I'd be like, you know what? I'm disowning you. You're a monster. How can you do that?
But the problem with it is that the bills were getting paid by the prostitute.
Yeah, I was about to say they got food on their table and a roof over their head.
Yep. So
Damn.
the years would pass by, Young Alton's growing up with men coming and going at all hours of the night. He's hearing noises. Sometimes the men would get physical with his mom, so there's yelling, screaming. The witchcraft mom would have to break in. There's all kinds of stuff going on.
Hey, that's crazy.
Now, get this. And this is another case of the 50s, late 50s at this point. Like, no, I would say 1960s. So again, America's very divisive at this point. You know, they talk about race relations today. It was nowhere close as it was back then. It was very bad. And one of the Johns left his wallet on the nightstand, and young Alton, at the age of 5, went in there and stole the money and the wallet. Now,
Mhm.
police were called, and young Alton was arrested.
What?
A 5-year-old.
Imagine that.
I ain't lying. He's black. He's 5. And with white police officers back in that time.
Imagine that.
A 5-year-old boy arrested.
Hey, he's black. He fits the description.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was actually on his record as a youth. He was arrested for stealing a wallet of a John. So,
At 5, with that kind of mother, what is he supposed to know?
yeah, it's incredible, right?
That's the 50s.
Unbelievable.
Yep. So at this point, we're feeling sorry for the kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're just like, man, this kid's he's up for a tough upbringing. We feel bad for him.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but we're not going to feel too bad as this time goes on. But just at this point, if someone could have came in and rescued this young man, maybe the things wouldn't have happened the way they did. Maybe they still would have. Who knows? But at this point, like I said, you're feeling bad. But the run-ins with the law continue to go on as he gets older, because he learns how to some of the Johns teach him how to roll dice. He's starting to gamble, smoke weed, drink.
At what age?
We're talking he starts gambling at the age of about 8 or 9. Then he starts drinking and smoking around 10 or 11. So, yeah.
This ain't going nowhere good.
It's not. And he's I don't know if you guys ever saw that South Park episode. I think Matt has, where the grandma starts teasing Butters. Did you ever see that one, Matt? Okay.
Drawing a blank.
Well, for those who have, it's sort of what happens in that episode. The grandmother witchcraft, okay? Alton is now regressing because, as I told you, all the stuff he did up until his teenager years, between the ages of 5, when he was arrested, until the age he was 12, Alton displayed another characteristic of a serial killer: constant wetting the bed. Now, where his grandma comes into play is she starts telling him that he's Mr. Pee-Pee Pants. It sounds funny.
I don't mean to laugh,
but she literally says, "Oh, there's Mr. Pee-Pee Pants. There shits on himself." And she's not saying it in the comfort of their home. She's saying it when they're out and about, when he's with his friends, and he's
basically trying to embarrass him
at every cost, in the store even. So he's getting more and more resentment for his grandma. He's getting more pissed off. People are laughing at him. They're calling him Pee-Pee Pants. His grandma would stab him with a fork to eat, because sometimes he would be staring off into space, pinching him, slapping him. She was getting punked by his grandma.
so she was his bully.
Yes.
What the hell did she rescue him for?
I don't know.
What the hell's wrong with this woman?
I don't know.
This is crazy.
Yeah, so he's getting punked in front of anybody that's around, and the grandma is just loving it. Just loving it.
That's evil.
Yeah, so As evil as that gets, again, we're feeling sorry for him right now. But
Hmm.
he actually gets a psychologist who starts to see that he pissed on himself in school. They call an emergency meeting. So kudos to the school district that he was in at the time. Um, they run him through all kinds of tests. They have him see doctors, psychiatrists. Guess what the stuff that he gets diagnosed with?
You know what? All the peeing in the bed and all that stuff and regressing, it completely points to autism for me.
Okay.
Mm, I'm gonna say it's the 50s. They just pretty much, and excuse my language as a we don't say it. They labeled him as probably mentally retarded or something like that,
Like slow.
like slow.
Well, here's the official one. You guys are kind of close, but here's the official one. Disorder, antisocial disorder, personality disorder, narcissistic and obsessive features with additional diagnosis of including epileptic spasms, which cause the urination and other things, psychosis, and borderline personality disorder to where it seemed like he was bipolar before bipolar was a thing.
What?
How they diagnosed with all that?
How do they diagnose him with personality disorders when this kid is having trouble? Like, he's
I don't
peeing himself. He's not acting in weird ways toward people.
Exactly.
Yep. I mean, he had a hard time relating with anybody. I mean, obviously with his.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So he's going through all these things. He's conflicted in his head. He's been smoking and drinking for a couple of years now. Now he drops out altogether of school. He didn't like all the they were going to put him in special ed, sort of classes, and he decided not to. So he began being that weirdo in town, being a voyeur in a way, and this would lead to him sexually assaulting two girls, two high school girls.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he would go to jail before his 18th birthday, but he would get paroled in 1976. So at the age of 21. Or I'm sorry, when did I say he was born again? Was it 50 or 55? I always screw up.
55.
Yeah, there you go, 55. Yeah, so he was 21 when he was paroled. So he was about or almost 21. So he was about 20 years old when he was paroled. So after he was paroled, he picked up 2 more cases of sexual assaults.
Okay, now he shouldn't be doing that.
Yep. And that's the ones that they knew of. And remember, he's got no work at this time. He's not really doing a 9 to 5 or anything else like that.
So he's just living.
Yeah, he's just living and hustling or whatever. And he gets again those 2 prior cases that he was originally arrested for some reason, the Johnsons decided to dismiss those. So
why?
They just did. They were like either not enough evidence or not a strong enough case, whatever the decision. Give the kid a break, and because maybe
How do you do that after he serves time?
I have no idea.
That makes no sense.
None whatsoever.
So he was already like on parole, and so he gets off of parole when those cases were dismissed. And he kind of works oddball stuff for the first time in his life. And we fast forward to 1983 in a case where he is identified and there is visual and other ways to prove that he raped a 14-year-old girl.
No.
So he gets arrested.
Yeah, I'm not feeling sorry for this guy no more.
Not anymore.
Yep. And he gets arrested, but somehow, some way, because of the low bond, he posts bond and is on parole. and he's waiting for his court date. So now I mentioned there was a
Oh, why they?
go
Sorry,
ahead.
I don't understand those laws. Like, I don't understand how somebody can attack another person, whether you rape them or you try to kill them, or how are these people allowed to post bond?
It's up to the judge and the evidence, I guess.
Yeah, but it's like they already have this history, and then they go and rape a minor, and you're just gonna let them go free until they wait for their court date? Well, like, obviously, he's going to do it again.
Yeah, he's got that history. But well, there's our Clyde side of the story. You guys want to talk some Bonnie now?
Let's do it.
All right. So Bonnie is not her real name. It's Deborah Brown. So Deborah Brown. Oh, go ahead.
No. I said okay.
So Deborah Brown is the second part of this equation, and she has a low IQ. Her IQ is not the highest at all. I think it was like a 72 or something. It's pretty low. Maybe lower. But she's one of these followers. She's not a leader at all. And this fits the mold. She was born November 11th, 1962. She was number 1 out of 11 children born to her mother.
Dang.
Jesus.
Yep. Freaking birthed a whole offensive team right there.
Right?
My dad was like, it's like his family. They were 11 kids.
Yep. 11. So just like a lot of our other stories where serial killers get their start and they have progressions or their tendencies that lead them to becoming serial killers, such as wetting the bed, killing animals, being beaten by parents, not having the right kind of parents, molestation, things of that nature, and often head injuries, stuff like that. Violence it leads to violence and murder for some reason, especially off of head trauma. So without all that being said, she suffered a head trauma as a child. Yeah, and because of the head trauma that she would suffer, it's not specified what happened to her, but her doctors would diagnose her with being a little mentally disabled because of the severity of the head trauma. So
that explains the IQ.
Yeah, that would explain the IQ and the dependency on others. Like she would literally latch onto someone if she liked them, like a lapdog.
That's true.
Yeah. So sort of like I'm your servant, you're my master type deal.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah, she was literally dealt a bad hand right off the bat. But it stated that I tried to look up as much as I could about Deborah, but there's not too much on her childhood. But we'll get to the point where she actually is 21, and when she meets Coleman, who was 28. Yeah, and Deborah was actually married. She got married at 19.
Oh.
She married an older guy.
Oh.
Yeah. And Coleman at this point, at the age of 28, was very charismatic. No matter what people said, he was a good talker. He knew how to. He just knew how to bond with people. And she saw him at a, I guess it was at a club or some sort of restaurant in his hometown. She was visiting with her husband, and she literally went right after him. The two bonded right away, and a couple weeks later she broke off her marriage and clung to Alton.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Little does she know.
Yeah, right. So this would be a recipe for disaster. And you you guys won't believe the stuff that they start. So here's where the story gets going. The two would decide to go on the road because he met her right when he's on bond facing the charges for raping the 14-year-old. So he's like, you know what, we need to go on the run. I can't stay here in Waukegan. I'm not gonna go to my court date. They're gonna come after me. Baby, you gotta come with me. And she like leaves her husband. All of a sudden they're an item. They're gone. Right?
Jeez, that was quick.
Yeah, big time. And they go on the road, and what I'm going to describe again is pretty graphic. This is definitely a Samuel L. Jackson hold on to your butts. This is a tough one right here. So let's get started with the crimes. May 29th, 1984 to be exact. Alton Coleman was friends with a 9-year-old Vernita Wheat of Kenosha, Wisconsin.
A 9-year-old.
I'm sorry, with her mother, who had a 9-year-old. Sorry, Vernita Wheat and her 9-year-old. Sorry, the mother's Junita Wheat and Vernita. I didn't make the names. Sorry.
I know you. Trust me. I know you did.
Yeah, exactly. It's, her daughter. He would go pick up her daughter, Vernita. Now, I'm not going to victim shame. I'm not, it is what it is. Hindsight being 2020. Junita was friends with Alton for quite some time. I guess he knew her and she knew him since high school or middle school. They were about the same age, but I just don't understand the logic of letting your daughter go with a 28-year-old man to go supposedly pick up a TV.
Absolutely.
What the hell?
Yeah.
There's no way in the world.
She said that they were supposed to pick up a TV and a stereo, and they were going to come back later on after they picked it up. It was not that far from their house, so that was it. The problem is he would never come back, nor her daughter would. Later that evening, however, at 11 o'clock, now this is way past after they're looking for Alton and the young child. Alton was spotted in town in Kenosha at a club, getting on a payphone with a 9-year-old, hailing a taxi cab out of town. And they were never seen after that. So,
dang.
Yeah, so right now the manhunt is on for Alton. They set up roadblocks. They're looking for the young girl, and even at that time, they're trying really hard because the mother's desperate. The community's in an uproar because this guy Alton was on bail. He's a convicted sex offender apparently. So the people are finding out about this. They're like, oh my God, how could you let a guy out like this? And then they're actually getting mad at the mother because they're like, why would you let your 9-year-old go with a guy like this?
Absolutely.
She's like, I didn't know. It was just a mess. So
yeah, I think if you're gonna be friends with anybody normally, but if you're gonna be friends with this male and then you have a daughter, you got to do your homework on that person. You can't just trust them.
Yeah, I mean,
especially that.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, and what sucks is this poor woman, was just left to wonder what happened to her child for almost a month.
Dang.
Are you serious?
Yeah, people were looking for this young girl desperately in surrounding communities, but found nothing. And it wasn't till June 19th, 1984, almost a month later, 4 blocks away from where the grandmother of the child had lived in Waukegan, Illinois, at an abandoned house or actually 4 blocks away from Alton's grandmother's house. So he took her back home to his neck of the woods, where witchcraft was still performing witchcraft. There was a abandoned house getting renovated, and the owner came back in and to the house and started smelling a smell because he hadn't been there in about a month, and he was going to do some work to the house. As he walked upstairs and went into the bathroom, he found a naked 9-year-old Vernita in the bathtub, naked and deceased.
Oh man.
Her decomposing body was obviously leaving the smell. The police were called to the scene and determined that the cause of death was strangulation, as bed sheets had been ripped off the bed upstairs and tied around her neck, and she had been sexually assaulted and raped.
What? A 9-year-old?
A 9-year-old. So
That is so sick.
A 9-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, these two together, like, and here's the thing with this one possibly we'll never know the truth. They didn't find any DNA or stuff or any kind of like hairs or any fingerprints to prove that she was there. So this is most likely Alton on his own. But this 9-year-old would suffer the fate.
A 9-year-old though, dude? Are you serious?
Yep.
Come on.
This one, it gets tougher. The manhunt was out for the sexual deviant Alton Coleman.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
At this point, is the girl with him, or at this point he's still alone?
We don't know for 100%. Well, she's with him, but on this particular offense, we don't know if she was. We still don't know.
Yeah.
If she participated at all. So, Alton and Deborah would stay hidden out at a friend's house. That lived in Waukegan, not too far from the abandoned house. And they laid low until Alton borrowed the man's truck and never returned it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what friends do, right?
Yeah, exactly. And both of them were on the road to Gary, Indiana. So they I think they went up north. He would target those in the African American communities and befriend strangers, sometimes assaulting them for their money or conning them out of their money. And he was very good at this in the area of Gary, Indiana, but never got caught. So here's another one that's, again, if you got a squeamish stomach, and this one's tough right here too. Another listener discretion advised. They're still in Gary, Indiana at this point on June 17th, 1984. So almost a month after they found the body of the 9-year-old, they approached a 9-year-old Annie Turks and her 7-year-old niece. So it's a little bit weird, the dynamic here, the 9-year-old aunt with her 7-year-old niece, but that's what it was. The two were headed to the candy store, and Coleman came up to them and asked them if they wanted some free clothing. Now, again, this is before stranger danger. This is before, the nation of America began to, North America began to push stranger danger. Don't take candy from strangers. You had all the President Reagan, before they started really talking about those, kidnapped kids and sexually abused and murdered kids. They pushed that year later in 84 and into his presidency to fight against that and to push those commercials and TV shows to make kids aware that it's a sad world we live in at that time that you can't trust anybody anymore. You got to really watch out. Don't take candy from strangers. Don't talk to
Mhm.
strangers. So
Even the fact of sending kids alone to the store.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you used to see
Get your
kids.
grown butt off the damn couch and go yourself.
Yep. Because so many kids were lost that way through that time period and even up to
Yeah.
recent times.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really sad, but I wish those parents were, like you said, Gabby, more responsible at that time, because man, maybe it could have saved these two young children from what they had to endure. So what happens is when he tells them, hey, I got some clothes, they see Deborah, they figure a woman, she's got to be safe, she's not going to do nothing to us. But she pulls out some clothes, but they're ripped, and she begins to tie up both of them. They tie up their hands and feet,
Oh.
and also around their mouth to silence them. Brown was holding the 7-year-old's nose till or not nose, but her mouth too, because she was trying to yell through the shirt tied around her mouth. She began to cry. She got loose and started to yell and cry a little bit. Alton got pissed, and he and her began to stomp the 7-year-old out.
Come on.
They stomped her out.
Yo.
Yeah.
Why did they? That's one thing I don't get. Why do they get mad? Like, what do you expect is going to happen?
Yep. And Deborah was a willing participant. She stomped as much as Alton did.
Why is she acting out?
They took the young girl, Tamika, about 15 yards or more into the brush and just threw her body like a piece of trash. Discarded her. Now they came back to the 9-year-old.
So that's it? They just took her to kill her?
Yeah. Because she was too loud.
That's sad.
But possibly that saved her from what happened next. They would, and I mean they, sexually assaulted the 9-year-old.
They?
Meaning
Deborah used objects.
Oh my God.
Alton raped.
And this woman is willing participant.
She's right there doing more damage because she used objects, whether it was a branch to a bottle on the poor 9-year-old, to where it literally moved parts of her intestines.
Oh my God.
Hey man, this is a tough one.
Yep. She was beaten, but she had passed out from the pain from the sexual assault. So they thought they killed her. So
you're telling me she survived?
Yeah, they left her there on the side of the road, and they took off. Now this 9-year-old woke up with, and this is rough to see too, she's naked. Parts of her intestines are coming out of her genitalia.
Ooh.
How does that happen?
Are you serious?
Yep.
So it's like they punctured her insides so bad that her intestines are coming out.
They probably ripped her stomach lining and all of that.
Oh. And no telling what it is.
Oh my God.
Oh man, that little girl.
She limped to the road where a passing motorist thankfully scooped her up and took her straight to the hospital.
Mm, mm.
And she would survive.
Oof.
Damn. How the.
Yeah, that was tough. She had to endure several surgeries, and you can see her story on YouTube if you look her up.
Okay.
Coleman and Brown, though, would keep going. They didn't let that affect them one bit. The next day, Donna Williams, 25 of Gary, Indiana, was reported missing. Almost a month later, on July 11th, Donna Williams' decomposing body was found in Detroit, Michigan, along with her car parked a half-mile away.
Mm.
It was a rundown area of Detroit. She had been raped, and the cause of death was ligature strangulation with her own shirt, similar to the kids that had been wrapped around her neck.
Mm. Mm.
Both Coleman and Brown participated in the rape of this woman as well.
See, I felt bad for the girl because her life was already messed up when she was little because of her IQ and being affected mentally. But you can't be that bad if you have such disgusting thoughts and ideas on what to do to another human. Much worse doing that to a child.
Mm.
You can't be that twisted. You can't be. I mean, yeah, you're twisted. You can't be that messed up.
Exactly.
Because I don't think somebody so innocent and mentally disabled could think of doing something like that to somebody.
It's just on another level of depravity, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So these two, whatever fire it lit under Coleman, Deborah was 100% behind him, as we'll find out later on. Like she's right there with him.
Oh my God.
Wow.
He's like, jump, and she's like, how high, basically.
Wow.
That hits home. I have a child that age, and I could kill the person who ever tried to do something to my daughter.
Yep.
That is disgusting.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like, I know you already moved on to this 25-year-old, and I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on that because I'm in complete disbelief of what they did to her.
No, I know. It's ridiculous. Like I said, the YouTube story, I mean, she goes into more detail, and
Yeah.
so it's tough.
You got me when you said the intestines. Some of her intestines came out her vaginal. That got me right there.
Yep.
Not just the fact of the crap she was using, like why? How does that make somebody get off? Like,
Torture.
oh, that's so nasty.
Yep. So we have to move on now. Again, they found the other woman, in July, but 2 days after they killed her, or 3 days after, the next stop is Dearborn Heights, Michigan. June 28th. They walked into the home of Mr. and Mrs. Palmer Jones. Mr. Palmer was handcuffed and severely beaten, and Miss Palmer, who was attacked, was beaten as well. The couple were fortunate, though, to survive. After robbing them, Coleman and Brown took Palmer's car, so the two suffered a beating, but at least they were able to live on. So for whatever reason, they didn't sexually or murder these people, at least, but they took a beating, but they survived.
Mm.
Damn.
The couple's next attack happened in Toledo, Ohio, July 5th, of the July 4th weekend, Independence Day. here in America. Coleman managed to worm his way into a house owned by Virginia Temple, who was the mother of a household of small children. She had 4 other kids, and her oldest was a 9-year-old daughter, Rochelle.
Oh, shoot.
That's no good.
No. The 4 kids, however, were not harmed. So,
Okay.
but the thing is that police were called when the family did not show up somewhere that they were supposed to show up, and it was later in the evening. So the police made a welfare check as they came to Rochelle's and her mother's home, Virginia. They would find the 4 kids in the room, huddled together in the corner, scared to death, thinking that there was still someone in the house. The 2 kids said that mommy and sister were screaming, and there was a man and a woman in the house telling them to be quiet, else they would be killed. The police searched the house. They didn't find anything at first, but in a crawl space just below the house, they found the mother, Virginia, and the 9-year-old Rochelle strangled to death.
What?
They had both been sexually assaulted.
I thought you said nothing happened to the kids.
The 4 other kids.
Oh.
But the oldest one suffered.
Yep. Yep.
Yo, these guys. Yeah, I see why you said listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, exactly. The police at this time hadn't linked everything up, obviously, because we're talking about the 80s. Police departments don't talk to each other, so that's slowing down everything. But now you're having these big time murders of kids in different communities. At some point, they're going to link them together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to.
Yeah. So they would go on to continue to rob people, stealing cars, and just doing whatever they wanted every day and just getting away with it day after day. They would run into, on July 12th, 1984, Tony Story, 15-year-old who was going to the local community center. It was a she. Her name was Toni, Toni. She signed up for a computer class in 1984. So kid was smart. You know, this young girl was trying to get out of the bad neighborhood. She was very smart. She's getting into computers when computers were beginning to be a thing. And if you think of all the millionaires and billionaires today, it's because they got into Silicon Valley. They got into that stuff when it was breaking out in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And she had computers on her mind. She was one of those first gamers with a green screen computer, the old box, and she was going to make something of herself. But we'll never know if she would have made it or not, because Coleman and Brown got to her first.
Dang.
They would abduct her off the street, take her into a abandoned area of the neighborhood, rape her and torture her and strangle her to death. Now, when they left her body, though, here's where they made a mistake. The mother of the 9-year-old, Virginia, had a bracelet that was around her wrist that was stolen, with a lot of other stuff that was stolen from the house.
Wait, you 9-year-old?
With Rochelle, the 9-year-old. Remember the mother-daughter?
Yeah.
So when they murdered her, they took some of her jewelry. When they got to the 15-year-old Toni, when they were done with her, they left her body in a secluded, abandoned area. But I guess in the transferring of her body, Virginia, the mother from the other murder case, her bracelet was left underneath the body.
Dang. So they linked themselves.
Yes, they were looking for missing jewelry, and right away it showed up in that neighborhood with another murder. So now they know they got a serial killer. And now they're thinking, is it this Alton guy we're looking for? So it's starting to come together now a little bit.
Mm.
So as the police were trying to link the murders, they had some witnesses in both cities that were starting to come clean, and the news spread of the 15-year-old dead in that neighborhood. Reverend Mr. and Mrs. Millard Gay of Dayton, Ohio, went to the police to tell them that they picked up a man named Alton Coleman and Deborah Brown in Dayton, Ohio, who were living on the streets just mere hours before Virginia and Rochelle were murdered. They said they had taken them to the home, gave them a good meal, preached to them a little bit, and offered them a place to go, for a couple hours, which was the service the next day at the church. But they had been gone at the time period of the mother and daughter being murdered there in Dayton, and the Reverend dropped them off in the neighborhood where the 15-year-old was abducted and kidnapped and raped later that afternoon. So he put two and two together and told the police about it, and this got the FBI involved. This got the Illinois State Police. Everybody was looking for the Coleman and Brown combination.
Dang, at least now they know who it is.
Yep. And as the description of Coleman came out, they got a picture of him and Deborah. It was shown to the 9-year-old, and that survived, and she identified them as the murder of her niece and all the atrocities that took place for her. So because of that, and also the 9-year-old that they found earlier, he is now on the FBI's 10 most wanted list at this point. So they're really looking after him. They're using all, you got all kinds of bounty hunters looking for this dude. Like, they're setting up roadblocks through the different states. Like they want him badly.
Do they want him dead or alive?
Yeah, there's that whole thing like, hey, bring him in by any means necessary. We know he's armed. He's got money. They don't care. He's not going to cooperate. So they're not taking any chances. So we move to July 13th, and Coleman and Brown somehow avoid all of the what's it called, roadblocks, because these two decide not to take a car, not to take a train, not to take a plane. They steal some bicycles and take the back routes. Yeah.
I mean, by any means necessary.
Yeah. They bike their way out, and they get to, of all places, Norwood, Ohio. So they went on quite the bike trip. And they come to a home in a trailer park, which the trailer was for sale by Harry and Marlene Walters. The Alton came in there charismatic, saying, hey, you know what? I'd like to buy this trailer. Me and my wife, we need a place to stay. How much do you want? Can we take a look for it? Look-see. They go inside, and immediately Alton grabs a candle holder and starts beating Harry over the head. Deborah starts beating the woman. They render Harry unconscious as he's bleeding from the forehead. Then the couple viciously rape and beat Marlene Walters to death.
Ugh.
So they literally split her husband's head open. He dies, and then they rape his wife before killing her.
See, man, these two.
Yep.
They gotta go.
Yeah.
They gotta go. And you know what? It seemed like she is more. I mean, I know she's the follower, but she seems like the one that's more or less doing all the action. Not all of it, but she's
the aggressive
She
one.
might be the more aggressive one.
You guys brought up a very good point that I was going to follow up on. Now, Matt, you know what? You working with tools, you know what a vice is, right?
Oh yeah.
And you know how you turn that thing and it gets tighter and tighter with
Tighter and tighter.
an extreme force because it's supposed to hold like pipes. It
Oh
could
yeah.
it could bend pipes,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Wait a minute. Don't tell me they use that.
Indeed they did.
Hey man.
Marlene, before she died, she had been beaten over the head. Um, her husband was beaten over the head 25 times.
God.
Damn.
But after she had been raped, tortured, and beaten already,
Don't tell me.
they put her head in a vice,
Oh, what?
Oh.
crushing her head.
Oh.
Are you gonna tell me that was her idea?
That was her.
I'm telling you, man.
She is disgusting.
She. I'm telling you.
Her cheekbones and her skull was
Oh,
crushed.
gone.
Yes. Yeah. Big time.
Oh my God, how do people come up with this?
That's some Saw.
That is. So they robbed the family of whatever they could, and
God,
they made their way down to Williamsburg, Kentucky.
off
Uh,
with her crap and off with his wang and their hands and their fingers and their eyes and everything.
Oh yeah, they gotta go.
yeah, death by 1,000 stabbings. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Screw the stabbings. Chop them up in pieces little by little. Make them feel real pain. Pull Dahmers on their freaking brains.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
need water torture first and then do all that.
They are disgusting.
You don't mess with the kids, man.
Nope.
Yeah, that already sealed their fate. But torturing people like this, like, come on, man.
That's like the epitome of overkill. Like,
Yeah.
Yep. They get down to Williamsburg, Kentucky. They find a professor who's well off, Mr. Carmichael Jr., and they rob him of all his possessions. Most of his, he's got some pretty expensive jewelry, pretty expensive things, nice car. They throw him in the back of the car and they drive back to Ohio for some reason. So they drive back to Dayton, Ohio, with a professor in the back of the car. But for some reason, they get out of the car and they're like, we just don't want this car. It's probably hot. And they leave him inside the car. But fortunately, where they left him, he made enough noise. Someone walked by, they called the police, and they were able to rescue him before he suffocated or just, had another fate. And he was able to describe Coleman and Brown, and now they knew that they were back in town. So now the FBI is all over there, and these two talk about freaking balls on these two. They go back, they found out that the Reverend was on TV giving them up, telling them what they had done. They went there at gunpoint to confront the Reverend and his wife, pointed guns at them, but whether it was prayer or divine intervention, whatever you want to call it, they did not hit or beat the Reverend and his wife. They just stole their car and left for Evanston, Illinois.
I'm shocked.
Yep.
I thought they would have killed them.
No, I mean, again, I don't know if the couple were on their knees praying to God in front of them.
That's what I'm saying. I was thinking that too.
Yeah, something happened to where the Reverend and his wife were just left alone. So
yeah, I was thinking that maybe they were praying, or maybe they said something that convinced them not to torture them.
Yep. So the two went on to Evanston, Illinois, but on their way to Evanston, they figured, hey, we need another car. And basically, they're in Indianapolis now, Illinois, and they get out of the preacher's car, and there's a 75-year-old by the name of Eugene Scott just minding his own business, and the old man doesn't want to give up his car. So the two shot him to death and took the car.
Hey, your life is worth more than a vehicle.
Yep. But still, I mean, like, come on, man, just push the guy down and take the car and go. Like,
You ain't gotta kill him.
yeah, don't kill the guy.
I'm not saying they should have killed him, but I'm saying, like, if you're in that situation and they're threatening you because they want to take your car, give up the damn car.
That is true as well. I mean,
yeah, I mean it's true. But
You're an older person. Like, how are you going to fight these two people? Just give up the damn car and move aside.
some people are stubborn, or some people still think they got it. I don't know, but
That's sad because he paid with his life.
he sure did. He sure did, and that sucked. It was just another, unfortunate soul that got in their way, and
I
so-
lost count of the body count. I ain't gonna lie. I want to say 12.
Well, I'll give you the updated numbers at the end because it comes into play as well.
Okay.
But so they leave Evanston once they get there. They're not there for too long. Or actually, no, they get there and they're settling in a little bit. It's not too far from Waukegan, Illinois, but Waukegan is not a big city still to this day. I mean, it's fairly big, but not that big. But at the time, it was smaller, obviously in the 80s. And there was someone that grew up with Alton that just happened to be in Evanston, Illinois. And again, although he's on the 10 most wanted list, seeing him and being able to definitively say, hey, I know this guy. He walks like him. He is him. His characteristics, I know it's him. Because they're getting leads all over the place because of all the states he's been. But this guy was adamant. He's like, I seen him. I grew up with him in Waukegan. He's here in Evanston. You got to come here. And he got on a payphone, and kudos to him. He called the right people. The police believed him. They came down with all their detectives. He says, I'm following him right now. He's at a park in Evanston. He's with a young lady. And they knew right away.
Oh,
What's that?
Oh, dang. He dropped what do you call it?
411.
Yeah, he dropped the knowledge on him.
Oh, yeah, he did. And so the police come. They have SWAT team. They're all geared up, right? And Deborah sees him from afar. And all of a sudden, like, she walks up like nothing. Just starts walking off the park bench. And freaking Alton's just sitting there on the park bench watching as police are coming closer and closer with guns drawn, yelling at him to put his hands up. He's just sitting there like whatever. So they throw him to the ground. They start, looking through, they handcuff him. They start searching him. They find all these, these IDs from different people on him. They find some jewelry. And then she's walking out thinking she's got the slip. But here's officers and, on the other side of the park, they come up with guns drawn. They find IDs and money and a couple handguns on her in her purse because I guess he slipped her the guns while he saw the officers come up. So they're both caught right then and there. They're just like, oh, we got our Bonnie and Clyde right here. That's it. We got them. So they run the fingerprint analysis on all the cases, and these two are sloppy. Their fingerprints are everywhere. So they're busted on that because there's no DNA at this point in 1984. But it would later be found out through the evidence, whether it was hairs, blood, semen, fingerprints, them being seen at these places, that the two would be convicted of 8 murders, 7 rapes, 3 kidnappings, along with numerous amounts of assaults with intent to kill, battery, robbery convictions, and sexual assaults, which the latter of obviously the rapes and murders, even the kidnappings and the assault charges and the attempted rapes and battery, that would all be dropped. Only the murders and rapes would be taken to court.
Why would they dropped?
Yeah,
because you'd have to have more taxpayer money to investigate and then also get all those other people involved in the cases. So they just figured, let's just stick with the murders and stick with the rapes and charge them on those.
BS.
So, this would be a first of its kind. You know how like usually murders that like we've done on here where they've gone cross country or they they'll pick the worst atrocities that happened in one of the states and try them there,
Yeah.
and then they just launch the case that way. Well, Ohio and Illinois couldn't make up their mind on who wanted him worse, and
They're like, we want him. No, we want him.
basically, and they decided to have two separate trials for both of them. They were like, no, we want him first, or we want. They actually had a fight to see who got him first.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dang.
So they wanted him bad. In Ohio, they wanted him for the murders of Marlene Walters and the other Tanya story or Tony story. They wanted him for that, and the trial for Brown was set. The judge, in a note for Alton Coleman and for the trial of Deborah Brown, Alton Coleman was there as a witness. He slipped a piece of paper to the judge. He told his lawyer to give the judge the paper, and the lawyer didn't want to do it, but he has to do it because that's his client. And for the 15-year-old, he wrote in the note to the judge, because the judge had asked him questions and he was just being quiet on purpose. In the note, it read, "I killed the bitch, and I don't give a damn. I had fun doing it."
Wow.
That was his testimony to help Deborah.
Well.
Yeah. And the judge was blown away by the no remorse by both of them.
None of them had remorse.
None of them had remorse whatsoever. The grandmother was still alive at this point, and she was in the courtroom making a scene by she had to be thrown out, couldn't come back to one of the what's it called, one of the court dates, because she had been casting spells during testimony.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So
To who?
she was putting curses on the detectives and also the judge.
Oh, okay, you have a disgusting grandson that I don't know why the hell you saved him. You bullied him his whole life, and now you're there to back him up.
Correct.
Stupid.
They encouraged the behavior.
Yep. And the thing was too, Deborah was in court and she was blowing kisses to Alton when she was testifying for him.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And she was saying that he was the love of her life and that they did things together. She was telling him, "Don't worry, baby, I'll see you again." He was telling her the same kind of thing. It disgusted all of the people that were there, family members of those who were murdered, obviously, because there's quite a few.
Wow.
So Ohio got the first shot at him, and they gave him the death penalty. And Illinois, not to be outdone, gave him the death penalty as well, and an additional 100 years for Alton. Brown received an additional 40 years also, and the death penalty, charges of kidnapping and child molesting. And Alton Coleman, he filed some appeals. He was found to be guilty in 86 after the court case. He didn't last too long. 16 years later, he died by lethal injection. Now, the interesting thing is, had he survived that lethal injection, he was due for execution in Illinois. So he was ready to get killed twice.
And her?
Now, here's the twist.
Please don't.
I haven't heard you say a twist in a long time, sorry.
Yeah, this is a twist right here. The Ohio Correctional Facility, who was housing Deborah Brown at this point, decided that her death sentence would be commuted to life because of her IQ scores. her nonviolent history prior to meeting Coleman.
Get out.
The psychiatrist diagnosed her with dependent personality, and
Okay.
and she was susceptible to Alton Coleman's control.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why her twisted mind had the most sickest ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. So
Me too.
Coleman got off of the death penalty and
Mm-hmm.
she was commuted to life. Now, here's the thing though. Here's another twist to the story.
All right.
Oh, she's dead.
She's been a model prisoner, and she Ohio wants, or not wants to, but might parole her.
Oh, come on.
Mm-mm-mm.
However, Illinois state police, as well as Illinois state lawmakers and the judicial system over there, decided if they ever choose to parole her, she will face the death penalty automatically in Illinois. They don't care about her IQ. So they're actually encouraging Ohio to release her because
Thank
Hey,
you.
hey, Illinois slave. Hey, we don't play that.
yeah, they want to take credit for putting one of these monsters to death. She's currently 63 years of age and still alive right now.
She's still alive.
Off with her head.
Hey, Ohio, it's all good. Just let Illinois take over.
Yeah.
Everything will be okay.
Turn her over, let her loose, because they said the day that she's released is the day she's getting scooped up and she'll be on death row.
And they do it.
Yep. But that's the story of Alton Coleman and Deborah Brown.
She needs prison justice.
I'm sure she got it.
No, because she's still alive.
Yeah, but I'm sure she got some. Big Bertha in there got a stick for her too.
Nope, something ain't enough. Off with her. She don't deserve to live.
Yeah. I mean, to know what these despicable people did and how many lives they ruined.
Children.
There's several YouTube interviews with some of the, well, especially the 9-year-old that's all grown up now, and all the victims, and just how it affected the neighborhoods and everything else like that. I mean, it's despicable stuff.
Oh my god. This one really pissed me off.
Yep.
I don't even know what to say, man. I mean, I wish they would have cut, like King Solomon, when they had to decide who baby belonged to which woman. And he was like, hey, let's cut them in half, and you each get one baby each. They should have did that to Alton. Let's cut him in half and send him to Ohio, and let him, and then the other house, Illinois, man. Here you go. There's his body. That would have been a good torture. Just cut him straight through while he's alive.
And I hate to say it, man, because what if they did that to him like they did in the Bible, or how they wanted to with him as a baby? Or what if the grandma didn't take him out of the trash?
You know what? It's an oxymoron, man.
I know it's horrible to think it, but she shouldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, who would have known? I mean, because I think the way that he was, conceived, you never know. Like the John could have been on drugs. The mom could have most likely been on drugs. That could have affected the way he was acting as a child, and
possibly.
So I mean, the kid was probably
crap. He was possessed by demons.
I think it was a demon. He had a demon.
Yeah, I mean, he could have been screwed from inception. So, or conception. It's crazy. I mean, it is crazy, and you can look up I think there is video too of Deborah Brown in court and some of the things that she said. So,
I don't even want to see the hoe. I don't want to hear her. I don't want to see a picture. I
I kind of want to see a picture of them too.
it's just beyond me. This case is beyond me. I hate the bastard. I don't know him. I'm sorry to think this, but that's what they deserve. They should have never lived. All the people's lives they destroyed just for them existing. But I have this hate for her
Yeah.
because I cannot believe that a person with struggles could be so disturbingly disgusting. At the end of the day, yeah, he's a pig. He did what he did, and so did she. But her mind just went further. She's just this sick, freaking demonized soul to think of the horrible things to do to people.
Yeah, she's.
So honestly, right now I'm more mad, and I hate her more than I could hate him. And I hope she gets prison justice. That trash doesn't deserve to live.
Yeah, I mean,
She has spoken.
yeah, she has spoken. Like seriously though, it sucks that she's still breathing, because
I agree.
I've heard people, like, when they do the testimony of when they're in jail, like they'll say, you shouldn't be breathing the same air, as we are right now. They're offended by that. And I think this is one of those cases where it's like, yeah, I wish I bet you a lot of the families wish that they weren't breathing the air, They should.
Yeah. She's a waste of a life.
Yep. And I'll show you.
Nope.
Since you asked for it, I'll send you the pictures right now. Let's see.
She gotta go.
Let's see if you can see this right here. I sent them right there.
No, I see it.
Nope.
See, the one in the middle is Alton in his last appeal.
Oh, I see it.
And that's what they looked like in their heyday when they were first arrested. And that's
She looked like she had some issues.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially in the picture with the two of them together, you could tell she probably had something going on. Alton over there, he got some demons.
Yeah, they look pretty scary. I mean, I'll send you another one right now where it's like they're in prison. They're just talking together. This is like the preliminary stuff. And yeah, they were feared. I know a lot of people stayed away from him while he was in prison.
Wow. Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Disgusting people. I mean, unfortunately, they weren't the first, but they weren't the last either. There's been couples, or at least, people that team up to do some really sick things to children and others.
It's a sick world we live in.
It sure is.
Well, that one was tough, man. But thank you, Todd, for breaking down that story.
Yeah.
And we thank you guys for listening in. Yeah, that's it. This has been another episode of Grinding True Crime. And this is your host, Matty Matt, along with
Gabby Gab.
and
Todd Fox.
And we are out of here.
Toodles.
Peace.
Yeah, you gotta listen to the show, You gotta knock them out like Rocky, man. Don't let them get the best of you.
Viewer discretion